Russian cities struggle with defense as Ukraine intensifies drone strikes. As the war between Ukraine and Russia grinds on, a new battlefront has opened in the skies. Ukraine has ramped up its drone attacks, targeting critical infrastructure deep inside Russia. Without access to long-range Western weapons, Ukraine has turned to its domestically produced drones, which are cheaper and just as effective as missiles. And these drones are proving to be a game changer. In recent months, Ukraine has stepped up its strikes, with waves of drones hitting Russian infrastructure. Dozens of drones are launched at once, overwhelming Russia's air defense systems. Even with their advanced capabilities, Russian defenses are proving to be overstretched and unable to keep up. A defense expert from RAND Europe explains, Russia's extensive air defense is struggling. It's not equipped to protect all targets effectively. The strategy: Ukraine wants to show Russian citizens that their country's defenses aren't as strong as they appear. These drone attacks highlight vulnerabilities that weren't as obvious before. Since September, Ukraine has launched massive drone attacks on Russian soil. In one attack, at least 144 drones were deployed. In another, the number reached 158. Russian authorities reported that the attacks spanned several regions, including Bryansk, Moscow, and Kursk. Tragically, a 46-year-old woman lost her life in the town of Romanskoye, just southeast of Moscow, and 3 civilians were injured. It's clear that these strikes are designed to put pressure on Russia's war effort. Ukraine's ability to manufacture drones is growing rapidly, with the country producing up to 2 million drones a year thanks to partnerships with about 20 other nations. These drones are now hitting key Russian targets like oil refineries, airfields, and ammunition depots, further stretching the capacity of Russian air defenses. A senior fellow at the Center for a New American Security notes that Ukraine's strategy of using large-scale drone attacks is forcing Russia to rethink its defense tactics. Russian air defense systems, designed to counter faster and larger aircraft, are struggling to detect and destroy the smaller, slower-moving drones that Ukraine is sending. Systems like the Panzer S-1, while equipped with backup cannons, are not always effective at targeting these drones. And while Russia is trying to adapt by deploying mobile air defense units, the effectiveness of these measures is still uncertain. Russian forces are now borrowing tactics from Ukraine, organizing mobile defense teams that are better suited to counter drone attacks. But these efforts will take time to mature, and many Russian citizens are frustrated with the lack of progress. There are even calls for volunteer civilian units to help patrol the skies and detect incoming, a method that has been successful in Ukraine. What's next for Russia's defense? To truly counter the growing drone threat, Russia will need to upgrade its radar technology and implement more advanced detection methods, including optical, acoustic, and radio frequency jamming systems. New anti-drone technologies, such as microwaves and laser systems, are also on the horizon, but they could take years to fully develop and deploy. In the meantime, Ukraine continues to innovate. The country recently announced the successful test of a domestically produced ballistic missile and unveiled a new Poly-NEC, a drone missile capable of adjusting its trajectory mid-flight. As both sides continue to escalate the conflict, it remains to be seen whether Russia can adapt to this new form of warfare, or whether Ukraine's drones will continue to give them the upper hand. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this news update, please hit the like button and subscribe for more news updates around the world.